Welcome everybody. Whenever we're all gathered here, then we'll commence with the ceremonies to celebrate Luang Por Pasanno's 50th Bhikkhu birthday. And just in a couple of minutes, we will pay respects to Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha and do a short puja. For anybody who wants to join along with this would be in Chanting Book 1. It's the Yoso in Pali. It would be on page 18 in Chanting Book 1. And then after that, there'll be for whoever would like, there would be the requesting of the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts, and that's on page 126, if anybody doesn't know that chant. From there, then we'll do it step by step. Not yet. We'll do the Yoso first, but just after that. Thank you. Just planning ahead.
Yoso หน้าเลยนะอาจารย์โยโสหน้าเลยโยโสหน้าเลยนะจำอยู่ในของ
After 50 years as a monk, you finally get to sit in a chair. Of course, it's actually, these days it's pretty much a necessity. I can't sit for very long, and although I do prefer to sit meditation on the floor, but sitting for long periods of time, that was part of the I usually send out at the end of the year Christmas, New Year's greetings to my family and old friends, and I remember one of the sentences in this year's greeting was, I'm still healthy, but there's a few body parts that are showing the realities of aging, and that's one of them is my knees, of course, and that's been the last couple of years, too. And I realized actually this year that it's because the knee's bone on bone now, so it's not very comfortable. So sitting in a chair is very helpful for an old duffer like me.
Maybe if the floating mic could go to B, can you raise your hand? Or, yeah. So Memo, you see her? Floating mic could. Yeah, there we go.
Mayang phante tissaranena saha panca sila niyajama thutayampi mayang phante tissaranena saha panca sila niyajama tatiyampi mayang phante tissaranena saha panca sila niyajama.
Okay, so we can determine to take the 5 precepts and the 3 refuges, and these are sort of foundational to any Buddhist practice, really, and the opportunity to truly have a refuge is something that is of immense importance in reminding ourselves and recollecting the importance of that sense of refuge and having a foundation in virtue in our life. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Ti sarana kamanaṃ nititaṃ. Panatipata Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature. Adinadana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given. Kame sumichachara Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct. Musavada Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from lying. Sura meraya majapama dathana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness. Imani pancha sikkhapadani silena sukating yanti silena bhoga sambada. Silena niputing yanti tasma silang visodhaye.
So the next part of this ceremony is a preliminary offering to Luang Por today. The Sangha will do Paritta chanting, and we'll do, once we've finished with the Paritta chanting, then I will read an announcement, which will be like a call and repeat type announcement to commemorate this occasion. And so on. After that, we'll be formally asking forgiveness from Luang Por, and whoever doesn't have the forgiveness sheets, we haven't printed out any for today, but can follow along with just hum it if you don't know it. And
if you don't know the tune, hum it.
If you don't know the tune, hum it. And so I was. See if I could invite Tanajan Sek to call the devas. คัสสาติเสวนาจะบาลานังปันติตานังจะเสวนาปูจาจะปูจนียานังเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังปะหิรุปเตสวาโสจะภูเปจะกตปุญญาตาอัปปสัมมาปะนิริจเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังปะหุสาจันจะสิปัญจวินโยจะสุสิกิโตสุภาสิตาจะยาวาจาเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังมาตาปิตุปาทานังพุทธตารัสสะสังฆโภอนาคุลาจะคัมมันตาเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังกานังจะธัมมจริยังจะญาตกานังจะสังฆโภอนาวัจจายิกัมมานิเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังการติวิรติภาปามาจภานาจะสัญญโมอาปมาโตจะธัมเมสุเรตัมมังกลมุตตมังการโวจะนิวาโตจะสันตุติจะกตัญญูตากาเลนะธัมมาสวนังเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังกันติจะโสวจาสตาสมนานันจะตาสนังกาเลนะธัมมัสสกาจาเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังทัพโพจะพระมจริยังจะอริยสัจจานัตตาสนังนิพพานสัจจะกิริยาจะเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังพุทธัสสะโลกธัมเมหิจิตังยาสนะกัมปติยโสกังวิรัจังเขมังเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังเอตาดิสานิกาตวานะสาปะธรรมปาราจิตาสาปะตโสติกัจฉันติตันเตสัมมังกลมุตตมังติการณิยมาตกุสเลนะยันตังสันตังปะรังอภิสัมเมจะสาโคอุจุจะสุหุจุจะสุวัชโชจะสัมมุดุอนาติมานิสันตุสักโคจะสุภาโรจะอาปะกิโจจะสาลาภุพระอุติสันตินทริโยจะนิปโคจะอาปะกาโภคุเลสุอนานุกิโตนะจักขุตังสัมมาจาริกินจิเยนารินโยปะเรอุปาวะเตโยสุขิโนวาเกมิโนโหนตุสัพเพสัตตาปะวันตุสุขิตาตายิปะริจิปานะพุทธาติตสาวะตาวราวะอานาวเสสาติคาวาเยมหันตาวะมาจิมาราสกาอนุรัตุลาภิตาวาเยจะติตาเยจะดุเรวสันติอวิดุเรพุทธาวาสัมภเวสีวะสัพเพสัตตาภวันตุสุขิตาตานะปะโรปะรังนิคุเปตนาติมังเยตกาตตินังคิมจิปยาโรสนาปฏิกสัญญานัญญมัญญาสดุขมิเจยมาตายตามิยังพุตังอายุสาเอกพุตังมนุราเกเอวัมปิสัพพพุทเตสุมาณสัมภาวะเยอปริมาณังเมตัญจะสัพพโลกัสสมิมาณสัมภาวะเยอปริมาณังพุทธังอโทจติริยังจะสัมบารังภเวรังสัพพะตังกิตังจรังนิสิโนวะสยานโนวะยาวตา นิโตเอตังสติงอดิเตยรามะเมตังวิหารังอิดามาหุติตินจะอนุปรัมมสีลวะทาสเนนะสัมปันโนกาเมสุเบนัยเกตังนาหิจาตุกาปัสสยังปุนาเรติติโอจังโกสัตติสังฆาโตธัมมานังวิจโยตตาวิริยังปิติปัสสะทิโกจังกัจจตตาปะเรสมารุเปกะโพจังกัสสะเตเตสัพพะตาสินะโมนินาสัมมาตาคาตาปาวิตาปาหุลิกาตาสังวาทันติอภิญญายติปานายจักโกริยาเอเทนะสัจวัจเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพพตาเอกสัมมิงสมัยเยนะโตโมกาลานังจักขัสสะปังกิลาเนตุกิเตติสวะโพจังเกสัตเตสัยเตจตังอภินัมมิตวาโรราอุจิงสุตังคเนเอเทนะสัจวัจเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพพตาเอกตาธัมมาราชาภิเกลัญเยนะภิพิลิโกจุนดาเทเรนะตัญเยวะปนะเปตุวานะสารรังสัมโมทิโตวาจาปาตาธัมภาวุทาสิตานะโสเอเทนะสัจวัจเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพพตาปะหินาเตจะอาปาตาอินานัมปิมะเอสินัมมากาหัตกิเลสาวะปาตานุปาติดัมมตังเอเทนะสัจวัจเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพพตายังคินจิเวตังอิลวะโอนังวาสาเกสุวายังรัตนังปานิตังนะโนสัมมังนาติตตาดเตนะหิดัมปิบุเทรัตนังปานิตังเอเทนะสัจเจนะสุวัตติโหตุทายังวิรากังอมตังปานิตังยะดาจักขัสสะยมุนิสัมมาหิโตนะเตนะกัมเมนะสัมมาติกินจิอิตัมปิกัมเมรัตนังปานิตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตติโหตุยัมปุตตะเสโตภริวานายิสุจิงสัมมาริมานังตริกัญญามาบุสัมมารินาเตนะสัมโมนาริจติดัมปิกัมเมรัตนังปานิตังเอเทนะสัจเจนะสุวัตติโหตุเยปุกะลาอาตัสสตังปัสสัตตาจาตาริเยตานิยุกานิโหนติเตตากิเนยสุกตาสสาวกาเอเทสุตินนานิมหาปลานิหิดัมปิสังเกรัตนังปานิตังเอเทนะสัจเจนะสุวัตติโหตุเยสุปยุตตามนัสสะดัลเทนะนิกามิโนโกตมัสสะสนามิเตปาติปาตาอมตังวิกายลาตาบุรานิปุติงบุญจมานะอิดัมปิสังเกรัตนังปานิตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตติโหตุขินังปุรานังนวังนาติสัมภวังวิราตจิตังยติเกภวัสมิงเตกินาปิจาอวิรุลิจันดานิปันติดิรายตายัมปะริโปอิรัมปิสังเกรัตนังปานิตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตติโหตุทุกขปาตา Chani Dukkha Bhayapada Chani Bhaya Soka Pata Chani Soka Hontu Sabe Vipanino Etawata Chaham Hehi Sampatam Punya Sampadam Sabe Deva Numodantu Sabha Sampati Siddhiya Danam Dadantu Sadhaya Silam Rakantu Sabada Pavana Virata Hontu Gajantu Devata Gata Sabe Buddha Balapata Pachekanam Jayam Balam Arahantanam Chadejena Rakan Bandami Sabaso Mahakaruniko Nato Hidaya Sabapaninam Puritoa Paramin Sabapato Sambodhi Muttamang Etena Sachavajena Hodute Jayamangalam Jayanto Bodhiya Mule Satyanam Nivadano Evam Tavam Vijayo Ho Hijaya Sujaya Mangale Aparajita Palam Kesi Se Patariko Kare Abhiseke Sabaputana Agapato Pamodati Sunakatam Sumangalam Supapatam Suhupitam Sukano Sumuhuto Chasuyitam Brahmachari Supatakinam Kaya Kammang Vacha Kammang Padakinam Padakinam Mano Kammang Panidite Padakinam Padakina Nikarawana Labantate Padakine Pavatusa Pamangalam Rakandu Sabadevata Sababuddha Nupavena Sarasoti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabamangalam Rakantu Sabadevata Sabadhamma Nupavena Sarasoti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabamangalam Rakantu Sabadevata Sabasanghanu Bhavena Sarasoti Bhavantu Te. Give a brief explanation before the next part. So having chanted the paritas as an offering to Luang Por, then having invited the forces of goodness in addition to all the forces of goodness already here, then we can commence with a proper offering or proper ceremony. Before that, could I ask maybe if people open the windows a little bit around? There's a lot of people in here, and it's kind of stuffy. Plus, according to Thai Buddhist lore, devas like it better when rooms have the windows open. So we're gathered here today, and as many of you know already, there's been these forms, these adhitthana sheets. So it's when people were thinking about deliberating what could be offered to someone who's been a bhikkhu for 50 years and probably has too much stuff anyway. What do you offer to them? They're just going to want to get rid of it. So it's actually using that teaching from the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, where the Buddha says that an offering of practice, the development and the cultivation of the Noble Eightfold Path, is the highest offering and the highest way to pay respects and pay homage to the Buddha, to the Tathagata. And so this idea came about. I won't single out the person who had the idea, but not me. It was, but somebody here had the idea, and very good idea to offer our practice. So, coming up with these adhitthana sheets to make determinations practice determinations and offering our practice to Luang Por. So the monks have done this as well. So not just the lay people. So it's I think it's a really lovely thing to do and a very worthy offering. And then Luang Por, perhaps he'll say more about this after we do our next ceremony. But to commemorate this occasion, then what I'll do is I'll do an announcement, and it'll be call and repeat. So I'll read one line, and then if everybody can, including the Sangha, can repeat after me. And then after that, the aditana sheets can be formally offered to Luang Por. So, but before we start the ceremony, we'll make a flower offering just before the announcement. And then if we can pay respects to Luang Por first. So I'll read this announcement, and then if everybody could repeat after me. We have all gathered here today to offer our determinations to practice the Dhamma and strive for the wholesome by body, speech, and mind, to honor our teacher, Luang Por Pasanno, our protector and guide. We offer our practice, acknowledging the weight of 50 years of Bhikkhu life. We express our gratitude for the opportunity to honor this auspicious occasion by making a humble gift of our practice determinations. May these aspirations bear fruit for all of us, now and in the future. May they be a cause for our minds to ripen to the freedom of liberation, to the ending of all dukkha, without any remaining. We wish to dedicate this offering of practice made in the presence of Luang Por Pasanno to our relatives and friends, and especially our parents. Although the Buddha passed into Nibbana long ago, his guiding influence remains with us in the form of our teachers who act for our benefit and for the well-being of all future generations. Sadhu.
Sadhu.
Invite Debbie and Jeannie to make the offering. It's quite heavy. And the next part of this, we'll do a formal asking of forgiveness, and then we'll invite Luang Por to say a few words. So we'll do more bowing. We can call come out.
Ahang kamami dumhe bime kamitabang. Te atalanda sukita vilulha buddha sasane. Aroka sukita hoti sahasambe hinyatepi sambe buddha. Balabhadha bhanje kanancha yang balang. Arahantha nancha teje. Narakan banda misamba. So, by body, speech, or mind, if there's anything that you have done that has been unskillful or inappropriate, I offer my forgiveness for that, by body, speech, or mind. If there's anything I have done to anyone, may you please offer forgiveness to me for that. By body, speech, or mind, for any skillful actions that you have done, may it be a source of your happiness and welfare that brings great benefit to you. By body, speech, or mind, if there's anything that I have done that is skillful, is beneficial, may I dedicate the benefit of that, the power of that, to bring happiness and welfare to any of you, all of you, and may it be a factor in your continued growth and development in this Buddhist path and to the ending of all suffering. So. So, 50 years, eh? It's hard to sort of get one's mind around it. There's many people here weren't even born 50 years ago, and then many people were extremely young 50 years ago, but yeah, just to have spent 50 years of my life, which was not my plan. It wasn't my plan be 50 years as a Buddhist monk. In fact, I didn't have much of a plan, but was fortunate enough to stumble into Buddhist monasteries and come across good teachers and to have good guiding elders to be an example for me on this path. And so that I think that's something that we all need to try to create. And certainly the coming to a good monastery, coming to good places of practice, and meeting people who are sincere and are committed to training is such an important aspect of this human life, and being able to develop a human life into something more than because the human life is also just being born and then dying, which is pretty humdrum. But there is this opportunity for living a life of real skillfulness and beauty, and being able to be of great benefit to each other as human beings. So I think it's a really beautiful aspiration to do that, and then developing these the idea to make determinations, and in Pali, adhitanas, determinations, resolutions to dedicate some part of practice, some part of training, some part of commitment for my benefit is extremely beautiful. And it's a for me, of course, it's very, very moving and touching. But also, I think for, say, each and one of you, it's also, I think a great inspiration to be making that because we do have to make an extra commitment. The unfortunate reality of human life and the human mind is that it's, oftentimes it's like water that loves to run downhill, and it's hard. You got to put some effort in to get it to go uphill, which is why we've got a great sources of water here, because we've got it all uphill, and it flows down very easily. Trying to the reality is whenever our leach field fails, we're going to have to be pushing up stuff uphill, which is going to be a real problem. We'll have to figure that out when the time comes. But that just that sense of just the reality of habits and conditioning tends to lead us into ways that aren't so helpful, and to making determinations and drawing close to others who have that determination and have that commitment is such an important part of living a meaningful life, and it's not sort of just getting what you want or getting praise and convenience and comfort in life. It's finding ways to really develop the sort of what are, say, like an adhitthana, determination, it's a barami, And baramis are skillful qualities, wholesome qualities, just in the root of the word barami means that something that gives the strength for helping to cross over. And crossing over from confusion to clarity, crossing over from say, suffering to happiness, crossing over from suffering to peace, crossing over from confusion to understanding. It requires a kind of a barami. And so adhitthana is one of the barami. Generosity is one of the baramis, which in abundant display, people's generosity is, I mean, just the fact that Abhayagiri exists, it exists, and that we as a sangha exist, because it's built on the generosity of other people. We don't have anything, but everything that you see here, when we first came, it was just an old kind of crappy house, and an even worse garage, and that's all we had. But everything that you see here is manifested through people's generosity and commitment, and it takes many, many, many people to create a monastery, and it requires the qualities of generosity, of commitment, dedication, of effort, virya barami, the barami of effort, putting forth effort, which is sometimes, it's important to recognize that effort is not effort is not necessarily measured in how frantic you display yourself. Effort is much more display, and it's in the actual definition of how the Buddha defines right effort. It's what is it that increases wholesome qualities and decreases unwholesome qualities. And so that sense of what can we be doing that we can be putting effort into that helps to increase our wholesome, our skillful, beneficial human qualities, and to decrease the unskillful, the unbeneficial, and that so that putting in effort, having that commitment to putting forth effort, and commitment to virtue, sila is a barami. Commitment to integrity, that sense of there is right, there is wrong, there is good, there is bad, there is the wholesome, there is the unwholesome, and to making that commitment to it without getting too righteous about it, without getting too on one's high horse about it, or too worried and fearful about it, because people do take, say, virtue and integrity and create all sorts of suffering with it, or use it as a club against themselves or others. But virtue and integrity, when lived, is something that is part of what the Buddha says is like mahadana. Great generosity, because it's like sometimes we think of say generosity and giving and something great, a great giving, and it's sort of like the kind of it's like some sort of ostentatious display. But what the Buddha says is really, really mahadana, really great giving is not killing, not stealing, not committing sexual misconduct, not lying, not taking intoxicants. It's these 5 precepts, which are, really the monastic life is extrapolation on those fundamental precepts, but it's when it's based on that sense of one giving oneself to virtue and integrity, and then being a one who lives it, then also gives what the Buddha says it is a giving of kindness and compassion to others, because you're giving trust and lack of fear. Because this, very much a part of this human realm is very much, it's we've got animal bodies, and the animal realm lives in fear. It's not a incredibly comfortable realm, and so that being able to not dwell in fear, or to dwell in non-fear, dwell in a sense of trust with each other is an incredible gift. And so that's why I say coming to a monastery or a good monastery, a good place of practice, is you enter into the space and you feel a sense of ease, because it's a place where you feel a sense of trust with. You might not know each other, you might not even like each other, but you can trust each other, and that's an incredible gift. So that to be able to recognize that these commitments, these determinations are of great benefits, and it's a great offering on a day like today, because say I would not be here today if I hadn't sort of exercised at least a bit of commitment. And I think you don't make it this far just by hanging on. So it's that sense of so it's having given that sense, because the reason why there is a commitment, because also I see the fruits of the practice, that drawing close to Buddha Dhamma Sangha as refuge, living a life of practice, living a life of cultivation of the wholesome qualities is really a source of happiness and peace and real deep well-being. So that it's something that is certainly for myself, I see the fruits of practice. The reviews seem to be in that other people see the benefits of my practice, and it's an incredibly heartening and humbling and moving to see just the fact that people, that anybody showed up today and so many people showed up. It's just is it's very, very moving, and so that knowing that that our life affects each other, and to have that determination to live in a way where you're trying to create a beneficial effect for yourself, because we're the first people that experience the fruits of our actions, and to create that sense of benefit for oneself. When it's in that sense of, when you bring up a thought of loving kindness, the first person who experiences that is yourself. You bring up a thought of resentment and anger, you're the first person to experience the fruits of that. So it's that, and then as you recognize that, and you say, well, which feels better? And of course, it's that sense of the developing the wholesome, the skillful, the good, the peaceful, the wise is what is of benefit to oneself, and then it inevitably benefits others. It's just of great, tremendous benefit to other human beings. And it's so today is a day of honoring me, but it's also an opportunity for honoring yourselves, each and every one of you. The monastics and the lay community all have a commitment to this living with a refuge, and it's something to be really delighted in and acknowledge, recognize. So I really want to say that, and also for myself, I mean, I think my own commitment to this path is really based on, of course, first and foremost, the Buddha. It's the Buddha sort of lit the way for all of us, and then the reality that his teachings and training have been passed on for so long, that you realize, well, yeah, this teaching and training can be passed on. And it needs to be passed on. So then that's all of us can be a part of that. And then, my own incredible good fortune of meeting Ajahn Chah. I think I mentioned it in a talk a while ago, months ago, where I was earlier last year, 2023, my mom came here. She came here in April for Songkran, and she was still young then, not yet a centenarian. She was only 99 then. But then she said, I'm cleaning up things at home. I'm getting rid of all sorts of stuff, and I've got I got this box of letters and communication that you sent back to us, like to the family. While I was away, when I was traveling as a layperson and then as a monk, which I had no idea that she kept everything. And she did. She had a big box of all the letters I'd written and all the things that I'd sent as gifts back. Like there was one of the things was 3 boxes of slides with really, really good photos of life at Wat Pah Nanachat in 1976. And in that letter, I was explaining the different people that were there, and then I was also kind of broaching the subject that I wasn't coming home. I wasn't coming home soon. I didn't say I was going to ordain for 50 years, but I said I felt I needed to stay longer and really explore this because it's of such benefit. And I was also saying that I met a really exceptional teacher who is just is peaceful. He's solid. He's an incredible example. And if by staying here I can become a bit more like him, I need to stay here. And so then that was, of course, that was that commitment to trying to follow the example of Ajahn Chah. And of course then the association with Ajahn Sumedho over the years, and the association with some of the great teachers of Ajahn Chah, Luang Por Pasanno, there is hope that we'll actually get Luang Por Pasanno here this year for a visit. We'll see. He has not said no. You're never going to pin him down to say yes and give dates when he's going to actually show up. But that's a huge, just to say, he hasn't said no. Then other great teachers of Ajahn Chah who have passed away. Luang Por Pasanno, Luang Por Pasanno were great mentors to me. I was had the good fortune of meeting some of the great teachers and forest masters in Thailand. Luang Dhamma Habua, Luang Por Dun, these sort of monks that their teachings have been translated into English. Luang Por Buddhadasa. And, in those days you sort of, you don't realize the significance of it. And I look back now from my, say, 50 years of being a monk, and you sort of, boy, did I hit the jackpot? Just being able to stumble into a place where these great teachers and teachings are available and freely given, is because Thailand is this extremely welcoming society, culture, and living, because it's almost 50 years that Wat Nana Chat has been established in northeast Thailand and Ubon province, and it's just it's a backwater by Thai standards, but it's a kind of like a powerhouse place for really committed practice of Buddhism with so many monasteries and teachers. So that just being supported by Thai society and culture for so long. I lived in Thailand for 23 years, which was decent chunk of my life, and still I go back every year because I feel such a connection and commitment to maintaining that connection. That's so just I'd like to kind of wrap it up and just express my appreciation for everybody's participation today, coming today. It's extremely inspiring to see. It's the middle of the week and to come for this occasion, both touching and moving, and my great gratitude to the Sangha here, with Ajahn Yaniko as the leading up the community and all of the community members. It's kind of an honor for me to be able to live with such committed people to Dhamma. And so again, express appreciation to all of your practice and all of your commitment. It is truly a blessing for the world. So.
Luang Por could invite you to do a water sprinkling. It's been charging up here.
Yes, we've been charging up this holy water for some time. And it was a condition that people placed, and we have to do the water sprinkling ceremony, benefit everybody, share out the blessings. Pak. He gets drafted. Pak gets drafted. Pak's mother's been on many of my retreats in Thailand. Did she come on my retreat this year? Okay. There's 135 people on the retreat. So it's hard to keep track of every individual. Okay, Nimo.
Jayanto bodhiya mule satyananam divadano evang tavam vijayo ho hijaya sujaya mangale aparajita palam kesi se patari bhokare abhiseke sabhaputanam agapato pamodati sunakatam sumangalam supalatam suhuditam sukano sumuhuto chasuyetam brahmachari supatakinam kaya kamam vaja kamam padakinam padakinam mano kamam panidite padakina padakina nikadavana lavantate padakine.
Wow, may everybody be well and happy. You di mi hang su kon dör. Also, after this is all finished, I think some people have already seen them and have taken, but they're outside there. There are a bunch of T-shirts that were made in this honor of this occasion, in English, in Thai, and each of them has a different Dhamma saying or Dhamma. It's from some teachings that I gave. And so that's available. They've all been stacked up very neatly with the sizes there. So keep an eye on it and sort out, figure out for yourselves what size you need. And then there's also books that are available in Thai and in English. The Thai is from short excerpts of teachings that I've given over the years, and it's a really neat book that because it's each of the different pages and teachings has got a QR code that takes you to the actual video itself of the fuller teaching. So I'd never seen a book like that before. Wow. So yeah, it's a new age, and I'm not up to speed on the technology. And then the English book is a book that was spearheaded by Beth, who most people know because she was here for many years, and Beth's Steph, and she wanted to pull together a book that really was about mindfulness from the perspective of, say, the forest tradition and practice community of our lineage, and try to give because she just felt the idea of mindfulness is becoming kind of either commercialized or watered down or something, and she really wanted to find teachings that help to sort of flesh it out and give a fuller perspective on what this mindfulness practice is, which is really the heart of even the Buddha himself says in the Satipatthana Sutta. This is the way out of suffering, this cultivation of mindfulness. And but even when the Buddha says it, and it's not in isolation, so that to get a fuller perspective on it. So anyway, that was a book that she developed and compiled, and she was consulted with me over I don't know, 2-3 years now, and other senior monks and teachers, and then has dedicated it for my 50th anniversary of my Bhikkhu life. So those are available, and there's some other books out there as well. So those are an offering for everyone.
We could end the afternoon with, it's on page 33, the verses of sharing and aspiration in English.
Now let us chant the verses of sharing and aspiration. Through the goodness that arises from my practice, may my spiritual teachers and guides of great virtue, my mother, my father, and my relatives, the sun and the moon, and all virtuous leaders of the world, may the highest gods and evil forces, celestial beings, guardian spirits of the earth, and the Lord of death, may those who are friendly, indifferent, or hostile, may all beings receive the blessings of my life, may they soon attain the threefold bliss, and realize the deathless, through the goodness that arises from my practice, and through this act of sharing, may all desires and attachments quickly cease, and all harmful states of mind, until I realize Nirvana in every kind of birth. May I have an upright mind, with mindfulness and wisdom, austerity and vigor. May the forces of delusion not take hold, nor weaken my resolve. The Buddha is my excellent refuge. Unsurpassed is the protection of the Dhamma. The solitary Buddha is my noble guide. The Sangha is my supreme support. Through the supreme power of all these, may darkness and delusion be dispelled.
And just before we close, too, just announcements what's happening later today. Well, for one, we're going to invite Luang Por to take Tom Sabai, take a rest. Very much still recovering from your travels, and but also there will be a 5:30 p.m. tea time and Ajahn at tea time for the last Q&A before we start the winter retreat, and then at 7 p.m. we'll have the normal Lunar Observance Day evening puja and taking of precepts and Dhamma talk, and that'll be the official start of our winter retreat. group photo?
Just one shot ค่ะหลวงพ่อ with everybody
I don't know if we'll be able to get everybody like.
right in front of หลวงพ่อสิ Just not gonna be another 50 I mean
Yeah, so
long time
maybe everybody could turn around quickly and
oh yeah
then you just take a photo from the back and that'll work.
Is that-
There's so many, there's not enough room for. Like a panorama.
See หลวงพ่อหนู So I mean you guys could go
But for panorama, people can't be moving back and forth.
Unless they want to be in every
They all seem to be very blurry.
I'll sell each one panorama and maybe do 3 times
Okay, everybody sit absolutely still.
Okay. And this side, kind of cool. Let's see. Smile, don't forget. Okay, let's see one more time.
Do you want to see?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Split. Maybe stand. Maybe. One more time. Listen.
I'll do it.
Now everyone can share.